Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of Predictions with PCJ. I am your host and friend here, PCJ the Pop Culture Junkie. It has been a while, it's been a minute since we've got a chance to sit down and actually discuss, analyze, and just sit back and really look at the product that is pro wrestling today. Now, this could easily turn into a 4-hour video of me just completely ranting and venting, but you're not here for that. We can do one of those videos later. You're here for my predictions on this Sunday's 2021 WWE Royal Rumble. Now, I say just Royal Rumble because it's not necessarily a pay-per-view anymore, right? We're on the network. Well, there's some news for that later. We'll get to that. So let's get right into it. Let's get to talking about the Royal Rumble. Now, we are in a crazy, crazy world right now where we're going to have our first ever Royal Rumble pay-per-view and 2 Royal Rumble matches, one for the men, one for the women, and there is no crowd, potentially no live audience for the first time ever for a Royal Rumble. I just can't believe that. Now, I was very fortunate to be in attendance at last year's Royal Rumble in right here in Houston at Minute Maid Park, and the Rumble itself is amazing. I don't care what year you go or have attended. The Rumble itself is just an awesome match. I enjoyed it. I've been fortunate to be at 2 Rumbles. I was at the 2017 in San Antonio, and then I got to go to the one here in Houston last year, and I definitely enjoyed this past year's more. I didn't care for the winner of 2017, as many of you know. 2020 was a great year because it was an interesting take on the Rumble. We had Brock Lesnar in there, just eliminating people one after the other, and then we got the surprise of all surprises, Edge making his long-awaited return. We never knew if he was ever going to be able to wrestle again, and when that music hit, I'm telling you, chills through the air. The crowd went bananas. You've seen the videos, I'm sure, of people's self-recording being in the arena itself, and then you see it on the network as well, but it's not the same as being in that arena when it happened. It was amazing. So anyways, we're going into 2021's Royal Rumble this Sunday, and we have some matches already posted. We're going to see what the matches are and share my predictions. Then we're going to get on to some news and rumors, and lastly, some fan questions. All right, first off, we have WWE SmackDown Women's Title match. Sasha Banks, the champ, against Carmella. I don't see them taking the belt off Sasha right now. I'm going to give the win to Sasha here. Then we have the Women's Tag Team title match. Asuka and Charlotte, champions, defending against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, the former champions. I see a little bit of problems happening during this match. You're going to get some miscommunication or mistiming or something, and Asuka and Charlotte are going to probably butt heads. This is going to probably set up something for WrestleMania to have Asuka against Charlotte for the Raw title. I'm assuming. I don't like how it's so obvious, so I'd hope we don't get that to actually happen. But I'm going to go with Asuka and Charlotte will probably retain, but there's going to begin the little bit of trouble in their tag team. All right, next up we have Drew McIntyre, WWE Championship on the line, defending against Go Oldberg, yes. Why? I don't understand this. Why is Vince so, he just has no faith in creating any new talent and putting good new talent, multiple top talents. It's like he does not want to ever have a roster similar to the late 90s, early 2000s. He had multiple top guys that at any time he could put the belt on. He could put it on Austin or Triple H, Mankind, The Rock, Kurt Angle. You had major stars at all time that you could easily transition the belts to at any time, whether any got injuries or anybody was unable to work for a while, whatever. You had a lot of potential. Right now, we've got squad. They've got squad, okay? And so we had to bring in Goldberg again. Why? So he can wrestle for 2 minutes and nobody gets any entertainment out of that? He's going to almost break someone's neck again like he did The Undertaker or even The Fiend. He couldn't even jackhammer The Fiend when he won the Universal title last time. What's going on here? I'm going to say Drew McIntyre for the win here, but I don't see why they would bring Goldberg back just to get squashed. So I don't get this. I want Drew to win, though. I don't want Goldberg to ever be a champion again. Next up, we have another up in the air match. We have the WWE Universal title last man standing match. Roman Reigns defending against Kevin Owens. Will Kevin Owens ever get either the Universal title again or win the WWE title? I don't know. I wish and hope he would, but it just seems like they're using Owens to just, again, get Roman over. Sorry, everyone keeps saying, oh, I'm so glad Roman's finally turned heel. Has he? Really? I mean, to me, it just feels like they're going 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and they're too afraid to go full heel. And I think Vince is too afraid. And he's like, no, Roman's my guy. I have to keep Roman my guy. I love him. Yes, he loves Roman. We know that. Obviously, you've given this guy how many years? 6 years or so more to get over as your top babyface champion, and it never has worked to where it's happened. But you still keep trying. I don't think he would have ever done this with anyone else. Cena got over. Cena was able to always turn around the fans, even when the fans were booing him as soon as he got to the ring. This is when Cena was always the good guy, Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky, and people would boo him. But Roman does not have Cena's mic skills or charm or personality, charisma. Cena could come out, cut a few promo lines, and instantly the crowd's at least laughing along with him and like, oh, okay, this guy ain't that bad. Roman is just blah. If they're going to make him heel, turn heel. Go out there, start doing dastardly things. He's trying to play off like, I'm too cool for school. You're not pulling it off, dude. No, it's not working. Not for me, not for a lot of people. But are they going to take the belt off Roman just before WrestleMania or even at WrestleMania? I don't know, but I want Kevin Owens to win. I'm going to go with Roman's going to get the win. It's almost a guarantee, but I would so love a big shocker to see Kevin Owens get the win here. All right, we have the Women's Royal Rumble match now, and I'm going to check real quick. Have they even announced all the participants? Let's see. All right, it took me a second to pull it up on their website. So here's on WWE.com as of this recording. The following women superstars have declared for the Royal Rumble match. Yeah, don't you like that? How some people can just declare. I declare I am entering the Rumble. Remember when people had to qualify? Remember when you had the raffle? You had the little tumbler they would roll around with the little balls, like a bingo thing, and you pull out your number and capsules would come out and whatnot. I miss that. Why not do that? And sadly, even if they were to bring that back, they would make it goofy as can be, because anything that was great 10, 20 years ago or more, when they redo it again 20 years later, they think, oh, we got to make it a little funny because today's crowd won't appreciate the original way. Yeah, we would. We don't need everything to be goofy and stupid, okay? Vince likes goofy, stupid stuff, unfortunately, so we have to, just deal with it. But here's our declared for the Rumble so far. We have Shayna Baszler, Alexa Bliss, Peyton Royce, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Tamina, Liv Morgan, and Ruby Riott. So that's 12 women, leaving a lot of spaces. We got 18 vacant spots still, and it could be anybody from Raw, SmackDown, or NXT as well. We're sure going to get at least maybe 4 or 5 from NXT. There's rumors we might get like a Trish Stratus or Lita appearance. There could be Jazz, maybe Victoria. I'd love that. I would like to see some more legends come in and actually win the Rumble for once. That would be amazing. So that's our list of declared entries so far. And then again, like I said, there's going to be other ones from Raw and SmackDown and NXT that could be making appearances in the Rumble itself. Now, I'm going to say first, my final 4 for the Women's Rumble is going to be Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, And I'm going to say a legend. It's going to be somebody like Trish or Lita, Gail Kim, Victoria, uh, Molly Holly, Alundra Blake. It could be anybody at that point. Okay, so I'm going to say those four. And then I'm going to say out of those, I have a feeling they're going to give it to Nia Jax. But it could also be Bianca Belair. And I know she's not part of my Final Four, but those are the Final Four I see. But I would like to see Bianca Belair get this win. I think that'd be the best bet to go with. But I have a feeling it's going to be Nia or Charlotte that's going to get the win. So, you know what? I'm just going to say it. It's going to be Charlotte Flair. She'll get the win again. And next up, we have the men's Royal Rumble. And so I wonder, are they going to open with the women's Rumble match and then close with the men's, or vice versa? What was the last year? Last year we had, Drew was the last thing we saw at Rumble last year. He won the Rumble, and the men's Rumble was the last match. So I guess was the women's Rumble the first match of the main card? We had a dark match. So, or we had I think we did have something on the kickoff show. Yeah. All right, anyways, going back to declared for the men's Rumble, we have Orton, Edge, AJ Styles, Big E, Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, Jeff Hardy, Bobby Lashley, Jey Uso, or just Uso, because that's what they've called him sometimes, is Usos here. Cesaro, The Miz, John Morrison, Otis, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Dolph Ziggler, and Mustafa Ali. So we have 17 announced for the men's Rumble, leaving 13 open spots. And certainly, again, there's going to be some NXT and other people from Raw or SmackDown put in there, but there should hopefully have a couple from NXT in there. All right, so who will be our final four? I'm going to say, I'll say The Miz, Daniel Bryan, Edge, and Orton. Those are going to be your final four. And lastly, in the ring, I will pick Daniel Bryan. I'll pick Daniel Bryan there. I think Edge and Orton are going to end up eliminating each other, doing something like that. They're going to both go over the top at the same time and just fight. And then, sadly, we're going to get another Edge-Orton match. Such a waste of Edge's return. And then, we'll see Miz get eliminated last by Bryan, because you have a big history there. So, all right, so I'm going to say Daniel Bryan will win the Rumble and then go on to challenge, hopefully, Kevin Owens for the Universal title. But unfortunately, it'd be probably Roman, but it is what it is. All right, there you have it. Those are my predictions for the 2021 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Let's get on to some news and rumors. So during an appearance on Busted Open Radio, WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray addressed the criticism that Charlotte Flair gets from fans on social media, quoted saying, "I don't understand going to social media and pissing on someone who is absolutely fantastic. It boggles my mind. How can you be blind to the athletic ability that she can be a ring general, the psychology she uses, and right now she is not in a main event storyline and has been off TV for months." Quote, "I don't think she is head and shoulders above Sasha or Bayley. Do I think she is better? Yes. And why have I said she is better? Because of her natural God-given athletic ability. I think she's a little bit of a better athlete than Sasha and Bayley." Well, okay, we're not denying that Charlotte is athletic and she can wrestle. That she wouldn't be where she is without obviously her name. Her name got her in the door and got her attention, but she has proven that she can wrestle. She can, go with the best. The problem people have is you're doing just like you did with Roman. You're shoving her down our throats to the point of like, look how good. It's like, yeah, that's great. The crowd is different than back in the day when you could have Hogan just shove down people's throats for 4 or 5 years in a row. There's too many other good talents in your company where you can't just have Charlotte be the main and only woman focused on. You got to have a variety of storylines going on with Sasha, Bayley, Becky, and Charlotte, and others. There's so many other reasons to have other women involved in different storylines than there used to be. Okay, it's not like back in the day where you had Trish and Lita and then a couple other divas. No, there is so many other talented wrestlers on the card that you could be doing things with, and that's what the fans want. They're just tired of Charlotte being the only one. It's as bad as when, 2017 at the Royal Rumble. We're waiting for number 30. We're like, oh, it's going to be Samoa Joe. Oh, it's going to be Rey Mysterio. Oh, it's going to be blah, 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 blah. Anybody. Oh, Finn Balor. It's going to be Finn Balor. And then at number 30, we hear, da-da, da-da, da-da. I'm here. I lost earlier. I'm here. Roman's going to win. Oh, God. And everyone hated it. Okay? And that's again when Vince was like, come on. I love Roman. Roman's my baby boy. I love him. And we don't want that anymore, Vince. You can't do it. That's what makes everyone turn off the channel, turn the TV off, everything. So that's our issue with it, Bully Ray. It's not that she doesn't have the talent. It's that the writers and the creative need to just get better at getting away from just focusing on one person and making that the only person. Okay, anyways, moving on. So during a Q&A on BleacherReport.com, Jon Moxley commented on a possible return to WWE. He said, quote, you got to say never because you don't want to run back what you said years later because you don't know what will happen. Just the creation of AEW was so vital to the wrestling industry, and that's part of the reason why I'm so proud to be a part of it. I wouldn't rule out ever doing business with them again. We had a mutually beneficial relationship for a long time. If they called, I would listen, but I highly doubt we would ever be on the same page. I don't not like money. I got a kid on the way, and I got to put it through college, so, I would take a phone call, but I highly doubt anything would materialize. And, yeah, like, Moxley, they it's like, again, the same repeat, issues we've heard and seen, where they have unbelievably talented wrestlers and they don't do anything with them, and then they make them into just characters that are stupid and silly. Who remembers the whole "what is that smell"? Remember that? That was Moxley's last real thing he was doing before he left. Former WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, United States champion, tag team champion. He had it all, and that's the kind of stuff you're going to give him as he's going out, because you don't want to make anything of him, of course, whatever. But yeah, it's just sad. It's really sad that the way they just lose out on the potential of having a major star, and just because, again, Vince was more focused on building up Roman. All right, and lastly, as mentioned before, WWE Network is moving to Peacock. So we heard earlier this week that WWE and NBC have reached a multi-year agreement which will give streaming service Peacock exclusive rights to WWE Network content for viewers in the United States. They are reporting that it's said to be a 5-year deal worth more than $1 billion. $1 billion for WWE Network content. How is it that valuable, and you have the terrible product they put on nowadays? How is it still worth that much? It's like we're getting shows as bad as the last year of WCW, and that's when Vince was able to buy WCW for like $10 million, $11 million. It's like, what? But according to TheWrap.com, the change will be made on March 18th, and WWE Fastlane will be the first pay-per-view event available on Peacock. WWE programming will be a part of Peacock's premium tier, which costs $4.99 a month and includes ads. Fans can also subscribe to the Premium Plus tier, which costs $9.99, and that one is commercial-free. The service on Peacock will include all future WWE pay-per-view events at no extra charge. Fans outside of the U.S. will not be affected by the change, so you'll still have the WWE Network to watch your shows and pay-per-views and such. Additional details will be released soon as to how existing network subscribers in the U.S. will be migrated over to Peacock. So that works for me. It's $5 less. I have to watch some ads whenever I see other stuff, but I'm fine with that. Okay. We get commercials during the pay-per-views anyways. Have you noticed that? Okay, so let's go on to fan questions. Remember, I will be live tweeting during Royal Rumble. You can follow me at PopCultureJunk2 I've got the link right there on the screen and below in the description. You can click on that, head on over. I'll be tweeting live as I do during most pay-per-views. I say most because it used to be every pay-per-view, but as a father now of a almost a 20-month-old, wow, it's going by fast, guys. It gets a little more difficult, but I do tweet still on and off when I can. But I will be live tweeting during the Rumble, so you can follow along, and I'll be sharing my thoughts on the show. And I do plan to do a spoiler recap and results following the Rumble Sunday night, so I will hopefully be posting that as well. But let's get to some fan questions. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter. I post whenever I'll be posting one of these videos. You can send me questions or topics. You can email them. You can post them on Facebook or Twitter and Instagram, so forth. Stunning Steve asks, will you be able to resist throwing items at your television if Orton is the winner of the men's Rumble match? Don't get me started on that. Oh, my God. I can't describe how bad of a vibe there was in the parking lot at the 2017 Rumble. If you were there and you were walking outside, I've left pay-per-views after, I've left arenas after a pay-per-view and Raw and SmackDowns and so many times you have the fans still pumped up with adrenaline from how great the show was or how crazy something happened. You have people walking out to the parking lot cheering still. They're chanting people's slogans. At the Rumble in 2017 in San Antonio, it was like silence. Just walking out, people were like just, all right, that sucked. Yeah, we had Orton as the winner of the Rumble. That was the last thing we saw on the show. And I am not making this up. I am not exaggerating it just because I do not care for that person at all. The whole parking lot and as we're walking to our cars, it was just like the air was just let out of the entire building when it happened. We're just like, okay, whatever. So yeah, maybe I'll throw something at the TV. We'll see. Josh Floberg asks, what is your favorite Royal Rumble memory? Favorite Royal Rumble memory? Now, I've only been to 2 Rumbles live. I have to say my all-time favorite now is being in the arena for the return of the Rated R Superstar Edge, because that was just insane. The crowd was going nuts, and you could see the emotion in Edge's face by what the crowd was feeding him with their cheers, and yeah, it's something that will never be able to be topped, probably. Kitten Hunter, Pushfire Berry, Ronda returns in the Women's Rumble, Brock returns in the Men's Rumble, HBK enters the Rumble. Oh, God. Well, after we know what happened at Sean's last match back in Saudi, I'm going to fire that immediately. I'll push Ronda returning at the Women's Rumble because I would like to see Ronda win and then go on to challenge Asuka and them have a good match that they could do. And then I'll bury Brock. Mince McMahon, Fuck, Marry, Kill. Sable, Eva Marie, or Lana? Oh, God. I had to marry one of these? I guess I'll marry Eva Marie, fuck Sable, and kill Lana. Yeah, that'd be the best. The Man Called Stan. Which former male and female would you like to see as a surprise entrant at the Royal Rumble matches? I'm going to say AJ Lee and CM Punk. That'd be amazing. Clerk for Life. Top 3 favorite wrestler entrances. My top 3 favorite entrances. So I guess we're talking about just like their regular entrances, not something over the top, like, you know, something that like Shawn ziplining down at WrestleMania 12. No, we're not talking about that, maybe. So I'm just gonna say regular entrances. I'll say New Age Outlaws, Stone Cold, because every time Stone Cold and that glass broke, it was amazing, and Gangrel. I think that one gets forgotten a lot. I mean, he came out of the ground surrounded by fire, and then he got to the ring and he spit blood. It was amazing. And lastly, Josh Halstead, why can't wrestling today be as popular as wrestling was in the 80s and in late 90s? Well, look at how Vince has completely lost touch with reality. Vince McMahon has completely lost touch with everything. We also don't have the quote-unquote competition like we used to. We're getting there in a way, but we're getting there to the point where we have AEW now and we have WWF. We have 2 main shows, again, on USA and on TNT. But is WWF even trying to compete? No, they don't see them as something to compete with, so they're not trying. If WWE was to step up their game, I believe AEW would step up their game. And I think AEW is doing fine. They've got their ups and downs, but not as bad as WWE. WWE is just not even trying anymore. Okay, we have Goldberg challenging in 2021 for one of their top titles. For the top title, the WWE title. We have Goldberg. That's not even trying. All right, so there we have it. Why can't it be as hot or anything? Is because one, we don't have stars like we did in the 80s and 90s. We don't have a Stone Cold. We don't have a Hogan. We don't have anybody to that level, and we're not going to get anybody to that level if Vince isn't ready or allowing that to happen, and he's not. He wants Roman to be his top star, but he's never going to be a Stone Cold or a Hogan or a Cena. He's never going to be that level. And I don't know if Vince wants anybody to be that level because he doesn't want to deal with too many big-headed stars that almost get, too big for their britches and they can, start calling their own shots again. He just doesn't want that. So, yeah, it's not going to be like it was. We can only hope for a good show. All right, everybody, that's it for fan questions. Thank you so much for sending them in. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. I'll be live tweeting again during the Rumble, and hopefully we get a good show. Hopefully we get an entertaining show. There's always potentials for some craziness to happen that we just don't want to have to see or don't want to deal with, but it's going to be entertaining. It's the Rumble. Come on, we got to have some fun at the Rumble no matter what. So share with me your comments below. Let me know if you have any predictions of your own you want to share, what you think is going to happen, who you think is going to surprise us at the Rumble, who should win, who would you like to see win the men's and women's Rumble and challenge whoever champion by the time we get to Mania. Share with me. All right, guys and gals, thanks as always for listening. I will talk to y'all later. This is PCJ, the Pop Culture Junkie. I'm signing out.